I'm Lori.
And there's a really big delay today, obviously, as we bring you the weekly challenge chat with Lisa and Lori. Thanks for joining us. This is a video about cross stitch and about what lovely challenges you could choose to participate in to help your stitching motivation happen during the week that is starting the 11th of July 2022. So we don't do this weekly anymore. We try to do it fortnightly, or at least once a month, give you a taste of how we think about divulging all these different whips and tell you what's happening so that you can join in and get some motivation. I must say, Laurie, that last month, well, when I didn't focus as much on the whips as on the prompts, I didn't do stitches.
No.
So for me,
Yeah,
it's a really big motivator.
Yeah.
So I'm, pleased to be back focusing on them, and I'm whipping my way through this month already. All right, so what have we got happening this week, Laurie, in Daily 30 land?
So in Daily 30, Christmas Carol Week is still going on. It started July 1st, but it lasts through July 15th. So there's still time if you haven't gotten started. The prompts aren't solely focused on Christmas carols, so let's go through it. The stitch count this week is high. It is 300 stitches or 3 hours for 4 tokens, 400 stitches or 4 hours for 6 tokens. First prompt, let me scroll down to it. Stitch on a whip that you can incorporate one of the 8 holidays. And the holidays are really quick: New Year's Day, Lincoln's birthday, Valentine's Day, Washington's birthday, Easter Sunday, Independence Day or 4th of July, Thanksgiving, and Christmas.
All right, well.
Mostly American.
Well, yeah. We can do that, don't you worry. We're used to converting everything over here in Australia. I, again, am focusing on my Whip Go pieces, and this is perfect for that. Easter House Trio.
Yes. Nice. I will share my screen. I ended up doing alternate stitches for this, which is a good point to say. If you don't have a whip or you don't want to think about it, you can do it an extra 100 stitches and still meet the prompt requirements. So my whip, 4th of July, I would probably do One Nation for 4th of July, but I could also do Sing and Rejoice for Christmas. I think that was one of the days, was it not?
Yeah, Christmas was a holiday. I don't think you have holiday prompt without Christmas, unless it was specifically avoiding Christmas for some reason.
Yeah, I mentioned it. Yeah, it was the last one. Okay, prompt number 2. Stitch on a whip by a designer for whom you have at least 4 patterns in your stash.
Okay, 4 patterns by a designer. I had a couple, but my most obvious one is Little House Needleworks, and this is Nathan Lane. And this is one of the pieces that I'm trying to knock over. So good to get some extra stitches on that.
Nice. For me, I have ink circles. I have 4 ink circles, and I just started another ink circles, which is Dog's Declaration. Let's blow that up here.
Show us.
Are you seeing? Yeah. So that's the new one.
That is so funny. Life living in the pursuit of squirrels. Okay.
Squirrels. Yes.
Oh, over here we wouldn't be pursuing squirrels, but probably chasing birds.
Yes. Okay. Prompt number 3, stitch on a whip that you can tie to one of these 12 days. And that would be the 12 days of Christmas.
Okay. Well,
be creative.
All right. Well, we don't need to go through the 12 days of Christmas, but My Pandemic 2020 by Sassy Girls has got heaps and heaps of birds on it, but on this part you can't see it. There's actually I think I tied it. It's got fancy hens. It's got like chickeny looking things that are very fancy. Oh yeah, you can see it. Hold on. This bit just there is a fancy hen above my finger. So that's what I tied into it.
Yeah, I don't know what I would pick. Yeah, I don't, 12 days of Christmas, probably something in Sing and Rejoice. So I don't know, maybe I did alternate stitches, by the way.
Yeah, somebody likes her alternate
Um,
stitches, but that's okay.
yes, so we'll move on. Prompt number 4, I think. Yeah. Prompt number 4, stitch on a whip that depicts nighttime or the night sky.
Okay, I do have an option for this, which would be my stitching time, because that girl in blue on the corner is a moon behind her.
Ah.
So but I chose to use I finally earned my free tokens again. So I used my free token for that one.
I did as well, but if I didn't, I would choose Sing and Rejoice. And okay, they stitched it on like white fabric, but clearly there are stars up there, so that would have to be a night sky.
It would.
And I did mine on gray blue fabric, so it looks like nighttime.
Yeah, I would agree with you there.
Okay. Okay, prompt number 5, stitch on the whip of your choice. There you go. And tell us what your favorite carol is. And you get bonus tokens if you provide a YouTube link for the carol of your choice.
Okay, now you didn't have to match your whip of your choice to the carol. It didn't say you had to, but I like to.
Correct.
So this one here is South American Angel by Barbara Bartz, and she is very happily dancing and celebrating. And she could be celebrating Christmas or something else, but I linked it because she makes me happy looking at her. She's happy, and my favorite song that makes me happy is Hark the Herald Angels Sing.
Nice. My favorite carol is Oh Holy Night, but I did build a challenge, which is a good plug for that. If you decide to do the prompt twice, you get double the tokens, and they call that build a challenge. You still have to meet the prompt requirements, but you get to earn those tokens again. So my next one was the Mariah Carey song, All I Want for Christmas, you know, the one that irritates everybody.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, that's good.
Okay, so the next week that is active is Macaroon Week. I authored that one, if you want someone to blame or praise. The prompt count for this week is 100 stitches or 1 hour for 2 tokens, 200 stitches or 2 hours for 4 tokens. First prompt is, let me get to it. Stitch on a whip charted by a popular designer or artist. You determine what's popular.
Right. Well, for me, I actually am stitching on my Barbara Bartz. Now, she was hugely popular, doing a whole series of these back in the 90s. So she's not necessarily the most popular today, but she was a popular designer, and she has a lot of charts done. So she's my popular designer.
I am doing Ink Circles Dog's Declaration. Ink Circles is a popular designer, and it's popular with me. Prompt number 2, stitch on a whip that you can tie to a specific holiday, either national or international. You must name that holiday.
Okay, a particular holiday. Well, I'm going to be very boring and do Christmas. And I am going to use my Christmas Eve sampler from Joan Elliott, because I think
nice.
It's a holiday for everyone. Not everyone, but
oh yeah, I wanted to work on a specific whip, so I just tried to make it match. I wanted to work on Attack on Titan, and on this whip there's a big flag, and so I chose Flag Day. I put a little bit of information in a Wikipedia link if someone wanted to know about it. It's not an official national holiday, but it's an observed holiday authorized by US Congress. So that's a holiday for me.
Yeah, fair enough. And in some countries it would be a holiday.
Yes. Okay, prompt number 3. Stitch on a whip that you've elevated in some way. You need to state what you've done to elevate your whip.
Okay, my Lantern Lane, I actually am stitching it not in the called for colors, but in Silks for You silks. So I've elevated it by using a more expensive type of thread.
Nice. I'm having a hard time with this one. I actually haven't decided what I will stitch on, but it will probably be one of my gnomes. And I elevated them because I am stitching them on over dyed fabric to give them a little background.
That works.
Yep. Prompt number 4, stitch on a whip using a neutral solid color fabric, meaning no over dyed fabric.
I read this and went, Laurie, you really don't like me, because I tend to use padding lanes or other over dyed fabric for pretty much everything. Although my brain didn't think about the fact that my full coverages are on plain critted.
Yeah.
But my Anzac is on a plain fabric with a variegated thread. So beautiful, fitted it in, didn't have to get outside the square.
Nice, very nice. So I am doing Attack on Titan. I've already showed that, but I am stitching that on fiddler's cloth, which is not dyed. It's very natural. So there you go. Prompt number 5, stitch on a whip that contains any man-made object that can have distinct variations.
Okay, well, again, sticking to my whips, I think that houses have many distinct variations between brick color, shape, size, materials.
I am stitching on Attack on Titan, you know, the big flag. Well, flags have all kinds of variations on color, shape, size, materials used, all of that. So design. So there you go. And you know what? I just have to say this really quick. So using these prompts, I learn more about my whip, things that I don't think about. You know, you choose a design because you like it, but when you start really trying to make your whips fit the prompts, I think you learn a little bit more about your whips or appreciate them more or deeper.
Yeah. Well, I also find, you also find it, particularly things like Anzac, there's all little things hidden here, there, and everywhere.
Yes.
Which is good.
Definitely.
We've got a special guest joining us, but let's finish this one up.
Okay. Well, for both of the weeklies, you also have the bonus prompt of a Sal, and you also have your daily 30. So this week, this macaroons week, you can still catch up on your daily 30, which is basically stitching 30 minutes a day for consecutive, or not consecutive, but for 5 days. You have to stitch all 5 days to earn the tokens. So that does it for daily 30.
Okay, and just to remind anyone, I'm doing Nutcracker Village for my Sal.
Ah, yes.
Well, Knitting That Stitches, that is perfect timing. Welcome to the video. It's live recording. Well, not live, but we're still recording as far as we can tell.
I know. I just jumped into the room and here you are.
Here we are, but I invited
apologies for my voice as well. So yes.
In Australia, we've got really bad weather at the moment and it's winter, and Nat's been sick. I've got a bit of a voice happening. I'm also raining again, Nat. So my area is inundated by really huge floods at the moment. I'm okay, but my city is underwater, which is really sad.
Yeah.
Devastating, and more rain is not helping the river and the flooding decrease. So
yeah, really feeling for the people that are dealing with weather events wherever they are. So
yes, because you got other weather events over your side, Laurie, don't you? You're in a heat wave.
Heat wave and a drought, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but the reason why Knitting Out has popped in just at this perfect timing is because we are talking about what's happening in the next 2 weeks, and NoNewStarts main group has something happening. What are we going to? Are we going to spill the secret?
We are going to spill the secret.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm still typing up the post, so that's coming today.
It'll probably be there before this comes up, but yeah.
Yeah, quite possibly. The NoNewStarts Christmas in July. Last year it was a 2-day festival. This year it's a 2-week festival. So it's a big festival. We have a few sub-events that are going on. This year we are doing a sleigh ride where we are collecting jingle bells. We are collecting 12 jingle bells from the Christmas Carol 12 Days of Christmas. In this event, you are going to find on your whip, or any whip, and it can be multiple whips, 12 items for each of the 12 days of Christmas. Those
one item for each.
one item for each.
So for example,
Mm.
my French hens.
There you go.
Mhm.
And somebody might have a pear tree.
Yep.
Somebody might have golden rings, or just rings, or a ring. There might be somebody with a drum, or a soldier. Nutcracker Village.
Yep, that's true. So there's lots of options, and just explain it out. Is there a particular number of stitches?
I believe we're looking at 200 stitches per item. And when you've collected the set, you get a raffle entry.
Yay.
Yep.
Very good.
Yes. Our next event in that is trimming the tree. This year, because it's a 2-week event, we're looking at additional raffle entries per finish, or an additional raffle entry per 1,000 stitches. Initially, I think we were thinking 500, but I was thinking it's a 2-week event. 1,000 stitches is a nice target.
And there is a timed option for these events?
Yeah. 1 hour per. Yeah.
So what are we stitching on to trim the tree? Christmas ornaments
whips.
or Christmas
whips. It must be a Christmas whip. Yep, you're sorted.
Since we're here talking about what we would think of, I may as well throw them up as we're talking.
Absolutely.
Ooh, hey, this passes a Christmas whip because it's got the holly flowers and things.
Oh,
and the cardinal.
yeah, it looks like it's snow. It looks like it's a bit of a Christmas scene, winter scene, Christmas scene. If you can make it convincing,
it'll pass.
It'll pass.
Okay, that's number 2. So trimming the tree with Christmas whips.
That's right. And this is where your finishes can be double dipped with the finish post on the main event, but you must post in both places in order to get the double dip. We are having some Christmas movies. We are not giving raffle points for this one. We're just sort of, how many different Christmas movies does the entire group stitch on?
And just post your start and your finish for while
start and your finish. It can be double dipped. We don't care.
Yeah. We just want to know. Tell us the movie name though. We want to know.
Tell us the movie name. A Christmas movie. Just, we're getting into the spirit. The next one is stitching Christmas stockings and Christmas presents. So this is the start of a cross-group interactive event. People who are in the daily 30 will recognize the flavor of this, where you stitch your Christmas stocking first. When you have stitched it, you can then stitch gifts for anyone else who has completed their Christmas stocking. 200 stitches to stitch your Christmas stocking. It does not have to be a Christmas whip, but it's encouraged.
May even be bonuses, but if you can put a picture of a stocking you've stitched, or find a nice stitched stocking,
absolutely include it.
Have fun.
Have fun, absolutely. And then we're stitching gifts for anybody who's stitched their stocking. 100 stitches per gift. The gift is an item from the whip that you are stitching on. So if you are stitching a dragon, you can give someone a dragon for Christmas.
So I could give someone an Easter egg for Christmas.
You could give someone a house for Christmas.
And I could, that'd be nice. So I'm going to give Natalie an Easter egg, and I'm going to give Laurie a house. So I've stitched 2 lots of 100 separately.
Yes.
On that, it has to be separate because each gift is 100. So you have to stop every 100, unfortunately.
That's correct. And tag, if you can tag the person that you are giving the gift to, do that within your own post.
Yeah.
And they will, if you tag that person by using the @ and their name, they will see that. And here comes the fun interactive.
Before we do that, before we do the fun interactive, you can give as many presents as you want to as many people. So you can, anyone has a stocking,
no limit.
And if you want to give multiple presents to multiple people, you can. So if I want to give Laurie a house and an Easter egg, I can stitch for her twice. There's no limit whatsoever, as long as I do 100 stitches for each gift I give.
That's not quite right. No.
Oh, okay.
Only if the house is on a different whip to your Easter egg.
Yes, yes. I can give her a house from Lantern Lane and an Easter egg from there. Yes.
Yes.
Different whips.
Yes.
If you are a monogamous stitcher, you're going to give one gift to as many different people.
Exactly.
If you've got multiple whips, you can shower your friends or people you don't yet know with love.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Continue.
Absolutely. I haven't decided on the number of raffle entries for this. I will pull a number out of the air sometime.
That's the joy of giving.
Absolutely. It really is about building the bonds across the group. And here's the fun part. If you've been tagged, we would like you to reply to that person with a heartfelt message and a picture. There is no stitch requirement.
It's like a Christmas card. You're sending them like a Christmas thank you card.
Absolutely. It can be a picture of what you're stitching on, a picture of something that makes you happy, a picture that that maybe relates to the gift that you've received. It could be a gift that makes them laugh. Again, there's no requirement to stitch in response. It's just an acknowledgement with a little bit of effort and thought and care for that person that's given you that gift.
You know, sharing the love and the kindness around. So, you know, just have a connection, a positive connection with someone who's positively connected with you. We all need more positivity in our lives.
Yeah. So this event will start when the event is posted. We'll make sure that we invite everybody in the NoNewStarts group, main group, along to that event. You can double dip your finishes. Where double dipping is permitted within the group, we will identify that. It will be multiple events for each of these different little tasks for our Christmas in July festival. There will be a post. There will be a post in the main group for questions because we're anticipating that there will be quite a few questions.
Yeah.
And you don't have to participate if you don't want to. We would love you to, but it's absolutely optional.
And obviously, like with the present giving, if you haven't stitched a stocking, you won't get a present. So if you want to be involved in the stockings, even if you're going to stitch other events first, I recommend stitch your stocking first.
Yeah.
Pop your stocking there. Even if you're going to give your presents out later in the fortnight, then you can receive presents if you're wanting to participate in that part of the event. And if you don't want it, don't stitch a stocking. No one can give you a present if you don't have a stocking.
That's right.
Well, thank you, Nellie. And it's going to finish on the 25th of July.
That's correct. So we'll have it set so that the timing finishes for the last people experiencing the 25th of July. So our friends in the western part of the hemispheres can participate fully.
Lovely. That sounds so much fun.
Those of us in the eastern hemispheres get a bonus day.
That's all right. We like sharing the love more. It's all good.
We really do.
Oh, well, thank you for popping in to join that with us. You're welcome to stay or pop out, whatever you like.
I'll stay if that's okay.
All right. Well, next one we didn't get to talk about last time is Mythological Stitchers. And Mythological Stitchers are continuing with their their Year of Gemstones. That's the monthly event. So I'm not going into that because this is a weekly/fortnightly chat, but the weekly events this week is called the 12 Labours of Heracles Introduction. So I feel like this month we might be doing the 12 Labours of Heracles all month. I'm just guessing, reading between the lines. All right, stitch on a project that depicts a wilderness scene. What you got for that, Laurie?
Oh, you know, I haven't touched this whip in months and months and months. So I would do Stream at Darhaven. I really need to pull this out and make sure it's not moth eaten.
Well, there's a good opportunity to do it. So yes, are we gonna make you think, Natalie? We can
It's going to
pass.
be.
Yeah.
It has to be St Andrews. I'll just quickly share my screen.
The wilderness
How do I
of
do
the golf course.
There we go, St Andrews. It's rugged.
Yeah.
In the hills there is wilderness.
Okay, I'll accept that. Well, I think for me, good old Anzac. You cannot tell me that that's not wilderness creatures all around the ocean in the country of Australia and New Zealand. So that's what I would pick for that. The next one we've basically got covered, double dipping from another one, so we don't need to talk about it. Stitch on a project that shows a starry sky like the Milky Way. So that ties in beautifully with the last prompts. Okay, stitch on a project that's either pleasant and simple or one that is hard and glorious.
Oh, simple, definitely. I would do Attack on Titan. It's on 18 count, 8 o'clock, and right now I'm stitching like 1,000 stitches in a single color. It's just mindless.
Yep.
How fun. Yeah. Simple. I would stitch on a peacock, unicorn, and badger, which looks like this. It's blocky colors. There's no confetti, full coverage, and that green background. You can just mindlessly stitch as well.
That sounds good. Okay, and I forgot to say, guys, you can stitch 100, at least 100 stitches, so it's easy. It's not much. Simple, one color, my Christmas Eve sampler. And the last one, stitch on a piece that drives you mad or one you need to or have had guidance on. And this ties in very well with some of the monthlies in Daily 30.
Yeah, Cozy Cove would be the one that drive me mad. I'm kind of hesitant to bring it out, but let's just show it really quick. Again, it's driving me mad just because the pattern's the old paper pattern, but
and the old multicolored paper pattern at that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, here we go. I would stitch on a little Val sampler that I've got. The picture's not great in this. The Algerian islets are driving me around the corner, and there's a lot of 1/1 stitching on and it's on 40 count. So yeah, it's tiny and delicate and
driving you mad.
Yeah, I have to be in a mood to stitch on it.
Fair enough. Well, I'm going to go total opposite. Pretty Little Sydney. It's driving me mad purely because I'm doing it on 18 count Ada. And I'm sorry, but I'm an even weave linen person these days if I have the choice. So that is what's happening in Mythological. And yes, during the rest of the month, we will explore each of the 12 labours. So could be a fun thing, a nice little quick one if you're interested. We also, Laurie, we accidentally forgot to mention one of the big ones in the monthly.
Pop culture, yes. So just to go through, the events that they have going for July are the July acrostic, the scavenger hunt, which ends on July 31st, all about July. And then that's it. So the July acrostic word is, let me put it up, is maintenance. So maintenance. That's an N.
A's and N's.
Yes.
Oh, what do you have that would jump to mind for an A?
We're doing designer or the start.
I don't know, anything.
Let me make sure of yes. So the starting letter, I have Attack on Titan, I have Anzac, As the Leaves Turn, and Autumn Quaker. So I have lots of choices there.
All right, Natalie, what about N for Natalie?
Ooh,
If you're still doing night walks down?
yeah, you're right. I've got night walks down. Yeah.
And for me, E, Easter House Trio. So there you are, between us, we got it covered.
Yes.
So we apologize that we forgot pop culture. We did plan to mention it, but then with all the other things we were talking about, we just slipped our mind. The joys of doing these live. So
Yes.
definitely jump in and participate. They're lots of fun. Okay, the next one we've got is a fortnightly one with the DownUnderDivas. And the DownUnderDivas fortnightly one, which is started, it finishes on at the end of this week. So we're in the middle of the fortnight, is a school report time, because it's school report time here in Australia. You can either do 100, 200 or 300 stitches. There's a timed option. And this one's quite complicated. You can always choose to stitch penalty color if you don't have the prompt, but you are going to be doing, there are 10 different subjects on your report card, and you have to stitch to get a different grade. So the first one is maths, and you have 4 choices and you choose your grade. So D is the penalty color. So if you stitch the penalty, you're going to get a D in maths. For A, do you have any piece that shows a mathematical equation or a mathematical symbol? It's quite hard to get an A, but if you think you have one.
Plus would work, like a cross.
Well, a multiplication sign, yeah, that would work.
Or even just a number. Yep. So any sampler that has a date on it would have a number, and that's mathematical.
Yes.
Sorry,
I think
visitors.
that's okay. I would just try to dig and to see if there's anything that forms a plus sign, or
There could be, yeah.
Well, with your date idea, Natalie, that would actually be letter B. Stitch on a piece that has a number.
Oh, so it needs a mathematical
It actually
operator.
needs, yeah. And I mean, it's meant to be hard. So, I mean, nothing comes to our
Yeah.
mind. We wouldn't be getting A's. I can get a B with my sampler.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Here we go. I'm going to show a whip.
Yep.
We're not marking it, so we don't know. This is just our thoughts. Inside this circle is a plus.
Yes.
I think you could definitely give that a whirl, because I can see that plus. If you explain it and do a screenshot of that bit and, you know, draw on it. There's also, is there a multiplication in the wheels of the baby pram?
Yes, you're right. There's multiplication in the wheels, so it crosses. Yes.
Yes. So there we go. Natalie would be going for an A.
Yes.
I am a teacher's pet.
Yes, well, that's all right. And letter C, stitch on a piece that has a well-known shape, for example, a square, a triangle, etc. So, Laurie, can you at least get a C?
I definitely can. And I have used this before. And as the leaves turn, the gable is definitely a triangle. there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Mhm.
very good. So that's what I mean. Like it's a bit complex, but it's quite fun to sort of stop and think. And then
I could see actually an A in that one, Laurie. Did you see the barn doors?
Oh, yes, they have an X for a multiplication symbol.
Mhm.
Thank you, Natalie.
You're
See?
welcome.
There's an A. You got an A. Okay. English for an A, a piece with a verse.
Mm.
Any of you doing
Sure.
pieces with a verse at the moment?
Oh, I don't think I am.
I'm not either. So I'm
No,
jumping
no.
down to B, a piece with an alphabet. I can get an alphabet.
I've got an alphabet.
Oh, you got an alphabet?
Actually,
Laurie?
Night Walked Down is a verse.
Another A for Natalie.
Yes.
Do you want to show us Night Walk Down? We're talking about it, but we haven't shown anyone what it looks like
Oh,
in case they've
okay.
been under a rock.
Let's share. There we go. So Night walked down with the moon in her hand.
That works.
Yeah, well, an A for Natalie, a B for me. What can you get an A or a B, Laurie?
What was the B?
An alphabet.
Oh, definitely. There's the store signs on As the Leaves Turn.
Well, yeah, but it says an alphabet, not a letter.
Oh, the full alphabet. Well, yes, I have, let me show it. Oh, I'm going to scroll there. Hang on just a second. You get to see my whips really fast.
Oh, I know which one you've got. Yep, that one.
That it has a full alphabet. Language of Flowers.
Definitely.
By Rosemary Davis.
Yeah,
well, there you go.
lovely.
So we don't have to divulge down to the C, which we could all do, a piece related to a book. And, you know, you could do any of the Amy Stewarts with a book in it, or anything that you could relate to any story. Like, I think that's pretty broad.
Yeah, you know, there could be an Alice in Wonderland, a Cinderella, Nutcracker.
All right, science. How are you feeling for science? Firstly, I'm going to read you the choices this time, and you can tell me which letter you find. A piece related to physics or chemistry. B, a piece related to biology. Or C, a piece related to any other form of science. Chemistry, physics, biology, or any other science. What do you reckon you can do?
I'm always going to try for
The
A because
likes A's.
I like making things hard for myself. Biology is easy, so I've easily got
a B. Yeah,
a
anything
B.
with a person or an animal.
So, or a plant. Physics or chemistry. I don't think I've stitched on this at all this year so far. So it would be bringing it out. But here's chemistry.
Oh, yes. Definitely. Well, it's time you brought it out, Natalie.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Laurie, you got anything chemistry?
I'm gonna go for a stretch to see if you guys think this would fly. Okay, this gnome is building balloons. Helium is an element. Chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
I actually saw that and thought you were going to say
And it's
love.
and the
love
balloons
is chemistry.
are because helium is lighter than air. It floats. Therefore, it's a physics principle.
Yes, physics. Oh, well,
Okay.
I can definitely I can get an A for this one then. In this corner, I can't see it because it's not fitting in, but she's sitting there. I was originally going for chemistry for the wine bottle, but I've also got physics with the hot air balloon.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, drama. It's either A, a piece related to a movie or a play, B, a piece showing a costume, or C, a piece with more than one person.
Attack on Titan for me because it is an anime series. So
you can get an A for that.
Yes, hopefully that would be it. Let me stop sharing.
St. Andrews has a group of people.
She's going to go. Are you going to go for a C? Oh my goodness.
I don't have anything else. I don't have anything that's directly movie related.
Is the tapestry, the unicorn badger, and what's he featured in any old movies? No. Oh. I reckon I could probably go for Little Women, because that reminds me very much of the house that the Little Women were in that movie.
Oh, actually, St Andrews can be a B.
There you go. She's got a B.
Yeah.
Or
Chariots of Fire.
aha, that works. Australia, the movie Australia.
Yes.
So I can get an A for that. All right, music. Stitch on a piece showing musical notes with a musical instrument or related to a song.
I would choose baptism because there's actually a band in the background right up there along the top with musical instruments.
I would choose Caroling by Veronique
And get
Anginger.
an A for the music notes.
Music notes and their singing.
Yes, well done. Just saw this one. Back to the movie for a second. Halloween, any Halloween franchise. Okay, Nutcracker Village has a music shop there, and there's actually a person playing an instrument at least, and I haven't got the actual pattern to look at yet. There might be actual music notes, but I reckon you could also tie in Christmas carols. Okay, art. A piece that is a replica of an actual piece of art, Natalie. A piece that has a piece of art in it, a sculpture, a painting on the wall, or a piece with something you could make art in.
What's my replica?
Isn't the unicorn badger?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a tapestry. It's a replica of a tapestry.
A tapestry is an old art form.
Mm.
Do you have anything for that, Laurie?
A couple of things. So baptism is a replica of a painting, and so is As the Leaves Turn is a charted painting.
I would be dropping down to the B, because there's art on the walls in A Stitch in Time. Okay, geography, piece with a map, a piece related to a specific country, or a piece with a geographical landmark, for example, a mountain or a river. Now, if you guys tell me, apart from Natalie, you're going to work on anything other than Anzac.
It's a bit of a map.
But
Yeah,
Natalie's finished hers. So she'd do St Andrews.
Yeah.
Yeah. History, a piece related to an actual historical event, a reproduction sampler, or a piece that contains something of historic value. And this one was tricky for me, but I ended up getting an A because Ned Kelly in Anzac is an actual historical event.
Well done. I can easily get a B with the reproduction sampler. Yeah, it's going to be a B for me.
Laurie?
A historical site.
A is an actual historical event.
Event, not a site.
Well, it depends. What's your site look like? Could you pretend the event is happening at the time?
Well, it's Alhambra Garden. It's the Chatelaine. It's a mandala, and that's this castle is a UNESCO site. There weren't any great events that happened there necessarily.
Look, I reckon if you explained all that, and it's a historical landmark, worth a try.
And I reckon Wikipedia will probably touch on any significant events that may have happened at Alhambra as well.
Yeah.
So there you go. Work studies, piece that shows someone working, an object that could be used to work, or a piece that has a building to work in.
St Andrews, there are people working.
Yeah.
Caddies, it's a job.
Yep.
Yeah, As the Leaves Turn. It's a store. The owner's out there selling. So he's working.
Well, I actually reckon that this lady, despite the fact that I usually go, she's celebrating and partying, I think she's actually a waitress carrying food at the party. So
Okay.
that's my story for that one.
She could be an entertainer.
And last one, yes, true. Last one, sport. A piece that shows a team sport in action, an individual sport in action, or an item that can be used to play sport. I went individual. There is a surfer surfing in Little Sydney.
St Andrews. I don't think it's a tournament,
So
and
it's an individual.
It's an individual sport.
Hey, it's only sport. Don't care about getting a B for sport.
Although Kringles has balls.
True, but it's not a team sport in action.
Not in action. No.
That would be a C for Kringles.
Mm.
Laurie?
I would do Cozy Cove because there's a lady riding a bicycle and biking.
Yeah.
Mm.
In her event is an individual. So there you go.
Mm.
Well, guys, that is it for this week. Thanks for joining us, Nat. Thanks again, Laurie. And we will be back with you sometime for another update. So until then, guys, particularly No New Starts people, look out for that post, jump on, and have a great fortnight of stitching.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.